Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Helen from Crafty Sew and Sew, and today I'm going to be telling you all about my nifty ways to save money while making clothes. So this is like a tips and tricks video. It's all about how you can save money while you're making clothes if you are on a little bit of a tight budget, or you just kind of want to be a bit more frugal with your money, or even a bit more frugal with how much kind of fabric you're using and, you know, the effects on the planet in general. So before we get started, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, because I will be doing plenty more videos like this, and I've also got plenty already for you to binge watch. Here are my 7 ways to save money while making your own clothes. Number 1 is upcycle fabric and clothing. So something we have been seeing on the Sewing Bee for every time they do a series, they do recycle and upcycle week, which is fantastic. I always enjoy it because it's always really interesting, and we've just seen that Raf did a beautiful like kind of a halter neck type of dress with different kind of denims into a wave pattern with a dot like a whale on it, and it was so nice. And that was all from recycled jeans, and I think it's just fantastic the things you can make. So if you're looking to save money on fabric, because it can get kind of expensive, look at using fabric that's already available in charity shops, car boots, reuse places. There's a lot of places that I go to that are like reuse or recycle places, and they are next to the tip, the local tip, and it's a shop that you can buy, a bit like a charity shop. You can go buy things that have been saved, people have donated, things like that. It's all great, it's all good condition, and it's just a great way of saving something from landfill and reusing it to make something else awesome. You can also use a lot of the stuff that you already have in your house. So I like to use old bedding that we no longer want or use. I like to upcycle that into something like dog beds, cat beds, cushion covers, even dresses sometimes, you know, stuff like that. You can always kind of use a cute little print to make a nice little cotton summer dress. And yeah, it's a really good way of getting a really big amount of material to use to make clothing. Number 2 on the list is shop in the sale. So this can be a sale anywhere. So this can be a sale on clothing itself, and you can use that clothing to create a pattern from there. You can shop in sale for reduced bedding, reduced fabric, or reduced materials in general. So places like Dunelm, they do so kind of like homeware stuff. They often do fabrics and they often do sales, so make sure you check out there if you're looking for anything in particular. You can also find stuff like poppers and buttons, zips, threads, things like that are also on sale, so you can find those on a discount. Check charity shops and reuse places again, because they often do like little bagging buckets and things where they've just got like little threads that have got, you know, maybe half a reel if not more on, and they've just been thrown in this basket for 25p or less, and they are great because then you can stash up on a load of colours for not a lot of money at all. When you're shopping in the sale, bedding is a great one, especially if you like to make a lot of things out of cotton. You can find a lot of obviously nice cotton fabric with really cute prints that are perfect for kids' clothing, your husband's shirts, you know, everything like that. It's a really good way of getting a really big amount of fabric to make something, so you don't have to do a lot of like piecing and, you know, like patching and stuff. So bedding's a great one to be able to pick up in a sale because you get a lot of fabric for your money in there. Number 3 on the list is to shop in car boots, charity shops and reuse places. So I've already mentioned this, but somewhere that you can shop to save money is charity shops, car boots and reuse and recycle places. These are all places that have like bedding, fabric remnants, all sorts of stuff that you can use to make something new. It's all really cheap, obviously. Most places kind of just want it gone. They kind of want to be able to turn over stock quite quickly. So a lot of places will kind of market stuff quite cheap, so you can pick up a really good bargain and be able to make something beautiful and save a lot of money in the process. So number 4 on the list is sell patterns after use. So something I have done before and I often do is when I've had a sewing pattern, I've tested it out and I've used it, or I've created the kind of size I want from the pattern, I know the instructions, know how to put it together, I often sell it on afterwards, because there's no need for me to keep it if I don't want to make it again, and if I already know how to make it, then I don't need to keep the original pattern. So I often sell my patterns onwards, so then somebody else can use it and I get to have some money back to put towards more sewing supplies, or just to be able to like reel back in some of the money I'd already spent. And so this is a great way of kind of recycling things without having to lose money. So as long as your pattern has not been cut and it's not been torn or it's not damaged in any format, as if it's almost like new, then you can sell it on a number of platforms such as Marketplace, into Facebook groups, or you can put it on eBay, or you can just kind of put it in some kind of local selling group and just see if anybody in your local area or anybody wants this certain pattern, and yeah, you can kind of sell it, post it off and get a little bit of money back into your sewing fund, and yeah, you can use that then to buy another pattern or buy some more fabric and kind of just keep recycling what you've been using. Number 5 on the list is use free sewing patterns. So I'm a big lover of free sewing patterns, not because I'm cheap, but I am a little bit frugal, and I just love them because they are very basic, they're very beginner friendly, a lot of the patterns. So I often love finding free sewing patterns because they're often styles I like, fits that I prefer, so they are great for me and they're really easy. You can print them off at home and just get sewing that very afternoon. You can find a whole host of free sewing patterns on the internet. There is hundreds, if not more. So you can find these from really good brands, really good kind of quality people who've made these, designed them, kind of tested them out and everything. So there is so many you can find. If you want a head start, I have a couple of videos on free sewing patterns. I'll link in the description below so you can check those out. But otherwise, just kind of Google, get into this little like black hole, and you'll be able to find so many that you want to do. Number 6 on the list is using trading groups. So I'm in a really great trading group for fabric and sewing patterns in the UK, and it's on Facebook. If you want to join it, I'll see if I can leave a link to it in the description, and so you can join this group. You can trade with other people, so you might have a sewing pattern that they want, they might have one that you want, and you can do a trade, and it just saves you from having to sell it. It also saves you having to find another one to buy, or kind of just like swapping, which is great because then you get something new, they get something new, and it's just a little bit more exciting. And finally, number 7 is use your existing clothing to make sewing patterns. So very much like the fabric upcycling scenario, I often like to take a piece of clothing that I've bought and I like to create a sewing pattern because I like the shape, I like the fit, I like how it makes me feel, and I already know that it fits my size, it fits me, it looks nice, and I know what material works best for it, and I know that I can wear it with things I've already got in my wardrobe. Say for instance a basic t-shirt, I have this little cat t-shirt that's like sewing, it's really cute. I've used that to create a pattern because I like the style and the fit of it. I also like how it makes me feel, and I like how it fits with other things in my wardrobe. So I often like to do that because I know that then that garment's going to slide into my wardrobe, it's going to be able to fit with a number of things I already own, and it kind of just takes the pressure off trying to work out if it's going to go with anything, buying anything or making anything new to go with it, especially if it's like a top or a pair of trousers. You have to find the other part of the outfit to go with it, and so that I really enjoy that, and it's a great way of saving money. So you can just take anything from your wardrobe you like. I will be doing a video on this. I'll leave a link in the description. Once it goes live, I'll change the description and put it in. But I'm going to be doing a video on this about how you can make a sewing pattern from an existing piece of clothing. I have done one on the t-shirt, so I'll link that in the description. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. So obviously sewing patterns can cost anything from, you know, like a couple of pounds, roughly £5 minimum, up to like $20-30, you know, pounds sort of thing. They can be quite expensive depending where you get them from, depending what you're looking for. Especially if you're looking at vintage ones, they often can get like quite expensive on eBay. So depending on what you're after, you could often, that can be one of the most priciest things within the make itself. So I often like to be able to use something that's existing within the wardrobe to make something new. You can also use this but adapt it. So if you want to change a sleeve on a blouse, you can do. Use a book. I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's called Winifred Aldridge, and it's like pattern making. She's got one for men, women and children. So I think I've got it actually, the children's one I do. Here it is. So this is the book, and it's called Metric Pattern Cutting for Children's Wear and Baby Wear. So they do this in the menswear and women's wear. So I'll leave a link to all three of these in the description. So if you're looking at kind of altering your own clothing or even create your own patterns, these are really good because they're fashion based. So they're very much like nothing's too, what do I want to say? Nothing's too set in an era. I'll point that out. Things can be kind of adapted. So even if you see something, a picture on like Boohoo or New Look or something like that, and you're like, I want to make that, then you should be able to find a great alternative to help you in the book. I just wanted to say a side note, when you're looking at shopping in sales, make sure you check out places like Pound Fabrics and some other ones like Minerva and everything like that. They do often do sales of remnants and bundles of like scrap fabrics and stuff. If you want to save money, that might be a great way of getting your fabric that you want but at a discounted price. Another tip I've just thought of, when you are looking for patterns, if you're not totally bothered about what you're making, look at sewing books. There's a whole ton of different sewing books that come with patterns. I've got a blog post on it. I'll leave the link in the description. Or you can buy sewing magazines. I recently bought a sewing magazine. I think it was like $8.99 for the sewing magazine, and it had 3, maybe 4 patterns in it actually. This month it had 4 patterns in it. So if you're looking to kind of, even if you buy those to trade on a trading group, that's a really good way of kind of having something to trade, especially if you're just getting started and you don't want to go out and buy ones that are expensive, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's a really good way of saving money as well. I'd love to know ways that you save money on your sewing supplies or when you're making clothing. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for checking this video out. Make sure you like and subscribe and check out the rest of my videos. I'll leave a link to one either side, a different side, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.